All right, the president is going to be meeting with House Ways and Means Committee members, or at least chief members here, so talking tax reform. But obviously he scheduled some time at the start of that meeting to address this controversy with his performance with Vladimir Putin in Helsinki, Finland. Let's get the read, or Finland, I should say. We should get the read from the Weekly Standard executive editor Fred Barnes, Washington Examiner commentary writer Emily Jashinsky, and Hoover Institution fellow Lanhee Chen. Fred, let me go to you. Obviously he's concerned enough to let the press know, I'm going to talk about this because I've been getting a lot of heat on this. What do you think he should say?
Yeah, there are two things he should say, but they're the things he'll never say. One of them is, I'm sorry, and he never apologizes, you know, shows weakness. Or say, I was wrong. You know, that shows weakness too. So I don't think he can say anything today that's going to get rid of this huge controversy and get him out of what I think is the low point in his presidency.
Emily, we're told that he wants to relay, you know, other things happened at this summit that maybe you're not aware of. You're looking at things through the prism of that joint press, or maybe that's what he's planning. But what do you think?
Yeah, I think that's entirely possible that we sort of get some insight into what happened behind closed doors, at least from the president's telling of it. I think he'll probably defend some aspects of his performance. Certainly things were overshadowed, and I think rightfully so. One thing he can say is, and I wouldn't rule out that he comes out and affirms, he's you know, flirted with this before, but affirms that Russia definitively meddled in our election, because that's, you know, the conclusion of Republicans and the intelligence community. There's, you know, consensus to a large degree that actually happened. So if he can come out today and affirm it, you know, he could settle some of the dust, but it's going to be tough to walk back what already played out yesterday.
You know, Lanhee, I was thinking of you because I know Mitt Romney, and I know you were a former Romney campaign policy director, was critical of the president, his performance in Helsinki. I didn't rub it in, but he's among many Republicans who were wincing. What is the effect within the party?
Well, I think the challenge here, Neil, fundamentally, is that you've got a number of Republicans who are saying that the performance yesterday was abysmal, that there are reasons why the president should have been more forceful with Putin, but they recognize that, you know, the president's incredibly popular with the Republican base, and going into a midterm election, the one thing you absolutely cannot have is a demotivated political base. And so they're really stuck between criticizing the president, rightfully so, I think, for his performance at the press conference yesterday, and the need really to cater to the base in an election year.
You know, Fred, when I see conservative media, largely conservative media like the Wall Street Journal, calling it a personal and national embarrassment, you do have to wonder if the president tries to get ahead of this, but how can he now? Or you know, I think that's what's making him chafe. It's one thing to hear Democrats criticize him, many of the mainstream media criticize him, but I think what's not sitting well is he thought he did okay, or at least that's what we're led to believe, and he's stunned at the reaction he's getting.
Well, you know, so far he's defending it, you know, saying, as he said in that tweet today, that you know, we did well in the NATO meeting, but it was even better in the meeting,
which defies all logic in reality.
It does. Look, it's hard for the president to do. You know, what he usually does is starts in the morning, changes the subject. He's pretty good at changing the subject and blotting out anybody else who wants to say anything. So who knows? Back to immigration, perhaps.
Well, you mentioned immigration, and Emily, the president does have a history of not acknowledging a mistake, pivoting, and on immigration and the separation of these kids and their parents, he did. So I'm wondering, if you pivot on an issue like this, how do you do so or acknowledge it?
Yeah, and you could look back to Charlottesville as well. That's almost a similar circumstance. But it's interesting because this is the Russia investigation, and you know he has a really hard time with this one in particular, and for some understandable reasons, even though I don't always appreciate it. But you know, I'm actually surprised that he's coming out and doing this. We'll see what actually happens, just because I don't think his base cares. I think we watched that play out yesterday, and certainly you can have conservative media weighing in and saying that it was an embarrassment. But you know, if you look to the elections, if you look to the midterm elections, this has really been a non-issue.
But you know, I have to wonder about that. And Lanhee, help me with this. I know the base is very loyal to him, and they stick with him. And God knows I heard from a few of them yesterday. but I will say this, that that base, I would also get concerned about Vladimir Putin just looking haughty and arrogant and feeling that he can do whatever he wants, right? So it is a little bit of a battle there, isn't it?
It is, but it's unclear to me how much foreign policy in this situation really drives the Republican electorate, or any electorate for that matter. I mean, look, I think the president would I think, do well to distinguish the elements of the Russia investigation that involve this alleged collusion, of which I agree with him, there's been no evidence of, from the piece relating to Russian meddling, which quite obviously both Republicans and Democrats have agreed happened. And getting tough on Russia, I think, would benefit him even with his base. So I think there's a play here politically for the president to get out ahead of it and say, look, we don't like what the Russians did. We're not going to let it go, and we're not going to stand for it.
Fred, I'm thinking of Lenny's old boss, Mitt Romney, how pressing he was about the Russian issue and how it wasn't the 80s or 70s foreign policy coming back. It was a real threat then. It's a real threat now.
Yeah, and the threat, who is the person who's identified with that threat? His name's Vladimir Putin. You can't just turn around and say the Russians have been acting badly. There's a guy in charge. You have to take him on. I think that's the most important thing he can do. I think his base will love that, and his critics will have to back off a little.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this too shall potentially pass, but we'll see what he says. Guys, thank you very, very much.